back to building a $1 million a month business empire / group of businesses on this side of it. If you're new here, this is a bit of a daily ramble update in terms of what we're working on with the business itself, what we're aiming towards, and obviously just a little bit of business background in terms of goals. So to run through bits and pieces, the way that works is we start off with Q&A. There's a sad face here because we don't have any Q&A. There's no comments that have been left because this is a new series. So if you do have comments, leave them down below and I'll get to them. We do a daily check-in terms of our target, how we're looking on that side, if we're on track. And the business debrief is really just breaking down in terms of any business findings we've had or any sort of shifts and gears that we're actually going in and where we're going for. So having a look at it, it's update number 7. It's currently the 7th of April 2025 and it is 9:41 p.m. here in Dubai at the moment. So first thing first, sad face, there's no Q&A. Second thing, daily check-in. So at the moment we have a goal itself that we're working towards, which is 10 clients by the 10th of April signed or the 15th. So 15th is our extension, 10th is the aim. At the minute we are at 5 of those 10. Progress in terms of this today, not great, if I'm honest with you. We've got one more call booked, and we do have 3 contracts out at the moment. But in terms of actually pushing towards that goal, we haven't actually made tons of progress, and I'll get to that in just a moment. Our other goal we're looking for as well is hiring a video editor. That was appalling writing. Hiring a video editor and hiring a tech specialist. Now, in terms of that, this is looking a little bit better. We've scheduled some more interviews, sent out some trial tasks, so hopefully we should get that done. The reason we're looking to do the tech specialist side of it itself is just to buy back time. That's the biggest play for it on that side of it. Now, today, like I said, it's a Monday and things. It's been a bit of a rough day, if I'm honest with you, a rough, tough day. It's just directly correlated with the issues on here. So at the minute, we're experiencing a couple of issues internally actually at the moment. One, from our sort of call center team at the minute. They're performing really, really well. I just want to get that out of the way first. They're performing fantastically well. Like bookings are much higher than they have ever been previously. We switched over to a dialing system. It's absolutely fucking crushing it. This month we're up 33% on bookings so far, which is a massive jump. And last month we ended up 41.8% higher than the previous month. So we're making massive, massive leaps in terms of what we're doing. But the issue is we're having 2 things. So first is lots of mistakes are popping up on that side of it. And more than anything, we're having an issue where people aren't using their own brain. Is actually, I'd say, our biggest issue. Because by not using their own brain, it ties into mistakes being made. So what I mean by that is you might experience this yourself within your team. It's not just within our call center team, it's within our broader team as well, is people asking you for help rather than trying to figure it out themselves. Now, I have spoken about this a little bit beforehand, but we're really going to go in heavy into this tomorrow, actually, in one of our ops meetings on that side of it. But at the moment, we have an issue where people ask a question for an answer rather than figure it out themselves. Now, the reason that they're doing that is because it's the least resistance. So for them to go and do the research themselves, not even research, just find the resource, look it up and engage their own brain, that might be maybe a 5 out of 10 difficulty, right? Because you do have to use your brain and get into it. For them to just go on to say, how do I do this? That's a 1 out of 10 because there's nothing that they have to do to get to that point. So it's like a 1 out of 10. So 99.9% of the time, most people are going to pick this least resistance option, right? And the problem is, as a business owner, or somebody who is a high performer, even if it's not me, it's other people in our team and things, or anyone on there, they want to march ahead and want to push forward, which is, for me, I'm most guilty of this really more than anything, which is somebody asks something, hey, here's how you do it, it's done for you, because I can't be bothered to wait around for them. So that's one it's got on there. And then 2 is not having, so like I said, 1, is the ease. And then 2 is having no downside, no penalties, right? Now I have a strategy on how to fix this and we'll look into it soon, but what we're going to be employing is a couple of things. So we're rebuilding an agency OS, an agency operating system internally, and we're creating a few things. So the first element in terms of ease and things on there is we're going to use, I mentioned a couple of days ago, our 1-3-1 method. All right, so the 1-3-1 method, if you're new here, is basically if somebody has a question about a problem they're having, they need to 1-3-1 it. So 1, what is the problem? 3, which is 3 options you think you can use to fix it. And then 1 is the one you think that you should go for. So going forwards, if anybody asks anything, we're going to be immediately saying, what's your 1-3-1 on that side of it, right? So that's the first thing we're going to be doing. That should make it, again, a little bit more uncomfortable for them to ask, but also means they have to engage their brain to figure it out. And hopefully 9 times out of 10, we can just say, great, that's a great answer, just do that, right? The second thing we're doing when it comes to the agency operating side is we're reorganizing all of our SOPs on that side of it, and we're also we're creating something called field notes. So what field notes are designed to be is they're things that don't fall under an SOP. So it's not a guide, it's not a tutorial, it's just a question that somebody has. And going forwards, every single question somebody has will become a field note. And what basic practice will then become is, ideally, is somebody asks a question, we ask them for their 1-3-1, and then we say, did you check the field notes? And until they answer us whether they've checked the field notes or not, we aren't going to reply. And if they don't structure this correctly, I'm just going to delete their message, which seems extreme, but we happen to go to that point. So that's where it's going to be. And also it's going to be delaying time to reply. So a delay, right, is the other thing. We're going to build in a delay on that reply to stop people having instant answer and instant feedback. Again, it sounds crazy. My thought is in the short term, we're going to pay the price for this. We're probably going to lose some bookings. We're going to have some unhappy team members. We might even lose some team members, right? But my sort of thought process behind it is, at the minute, like I said, we need to remove ourselves from this agency. I need to remove myself fully. It can't keep happening if we want to scale and get past that threshold. And at the minute, we don't even have a team problem. We have a culture problem, in my opinion. And that can't be out-hired. We can hire more and more people. And all it's doing at the minute is flowing up more and more into a bottleneck with all of us. And like I said, it's across the board. So any single question somebody asks me, whether it's in public, in private, whatever it's going to be, is, what's your 1-3-1? Then after they give that, I'll just say thumbs up, yeah, that's great, amazing. Or I'll say check the field notes. If they haven't checked the field notes, obviously we'll go off their 1-3-1 and we'll go from there and delay a response. Because what I want it to be is all of these things are designed to do. So, this one here is designed to make a higher resistance, right? So to increase resistance. This one here is designed to increase resistance. The field ops one is a little bit different. This one is designed to make their life actually easier at that point of it, right? Because if somebody asks something, it's only going to be a few things. One, it's easier to just ask. Or two, they don't know where the resources are, right? They don't know where they are, they don't know where they can find them, which is what our field notes is going to be. It's going to be a catch-all system where any question they have should be answered over time. We'll build it over time on that side of it. So that's the first part of the puzzle that I'm looking at, right? So that's my first part of the puzzle. So this is step 1 on that end of it, which is 1-3-1, field notes and delay. Yeah, that should mean that people start to use their own brain. Now it's going to be hard for me personally. If somebody asks a question, I know it's going to be longer initially for me to get them to tell me the answer, then telling them the answer. But in the long term, it should mean their brain works. If it doesn't work, we might have to say goodbye to that team member at the end of the day, right? Because as we're going, we're scaling above. We don't have time to mess around with people who can't figure anything out. Now, the second portion then of this is we now need to look at so like I said, this is the initial process. Like I said, this is step 1. The second part we need to do is add pain to asking questions, right? So let me just make some space here on this side of it. We need to add some pain when it comes to actually asking their question itself. Pain to making a mistake. Sorry, I should have said on there. So I mentioned this already. What we've done is we've introduced today a 0 policy on mistakes, right? So this will save people making silly mistakes, yeah? And this is our other issue. Step 1 is just all about not using their own brain. Like I said, so that's taken care of. Hopefully by them engaging their brain, they'll then go into step 2 and we sort of minimize mistakes. So it's an equal balance and things on there. Now, 0 policy mistakes. So we just finished launching this today. We've set up a public channel. So if somebody makes a mistake, especially from the call center team, it goes on there directly, 0 mistake policy. If you make a mistake, it goes on there and you lose 2 bookings. So for us, we pay a commission based on the number of bookings you've got. The reason we haven't done 1 booking removal is because if you remove 1 booking, it's still worth the risk for them. Because if you think about it, they're on the phone, they've got someone on the phone with them, they're on there with them on the phone, on that side of it, so they're speaking away to them. going around and they've got 0 bookings, right? So they've got 0. If they close that person on the phone, they've now got 1 booking, right? So it's worth it for them to close it no matter what. So yeah, they put it through, they make a booking mistake, doesn't matter because they were going to have 0 anyway. If we just take this one off, they're back to where they started. There's no penalty. Sure, it's a bit of a kicker in the teeth because they haven't got like their commission, but there's no negative downside if you really look at it, right? Like I said, they get it through. If it gets taken off, worst case scenario, they weren't going to have it anyway, so what does it matter? Which is why we're taking off 2 for every mistake. Because now it comes down to, if you're at 0 and you rush this just to get it on because you want them on and you lose it, you've now lost that and an extra one. So it forces people to have to slow down and have a look at it. So, and there is 0 tolerance on that now. So if there's a mistake, we've gone through, we've put it in writing, everyone's agreed, we've mentioned in our meetings, and now it goes publicly on there, it updates what this has caused, why it's an issue, and then it says 2 bookings have been removed, and it comes off the leaderboard, and they're just on there. So today we did it for 2 people. 2 people had to lose bookings, they had to come off, but again, it's a slow process until they get on there. Like I said, we're probably gonna have some people pretty depressed about this, not happy about it, but it has to be done to sort of scale and go forwards on that side. So 0 policy on mistakes. The second thing we'll do, if it's repeated mistakes, the same thing, we're going to sort of put a strike process in. It's most likely, I haven't decided exactly, it's going to be a 3 to 5 strike process. After that, they go on to warning, and then after that, it's sort of firing, right? Because again, 1 time somebody makes a mistake, it's a mistake. 2 times they're learning, 3 times they're taking the piss, 4 or 5 times, what is going on, this is a concern, you have no brain cells, right? Which is why we're trying to combine it with the 1-3-1 method to get them triggering their brains on the end of it. But like I said, 3 to 5 strike process to be fired. Now, I'm giving a warning. I honestly think the biggest impact is going to be the 0 policy and the public channel. So the public channel is going to be more painful for them because it's in front of everyone. So, hey, Amy's made a mistake. She's lost 2 bookings. So she's let her team down. She's let the salon down, and she's let them down on that side. So I've been really transparent with the team of why this is an issue and what it causes. And we've let them know if we've lost clients before because of it, or we've had complaints. Because every booking they make that's a mistake, or every mistake somebody makes, don't look at it as, oh, it's a mistake, let me fix it. You have to look at the monetary cost associated. So for example, for us, we generate £50 for a booking. We get that as a revenue for ourselves as a company, right? If there's a mistake and 4 or 5 people have to get involved and it takes half an hour, 45 minutes of each of those time, that's nearly a half a day's worth of work gone. You break that down in terms of hourly wages, depending on the team members, we've made nothing. We've either broke even on that booking or we've actually lost money. So we're better off not having the booking than having a mistake. So that's what we're going to be planning going forward on there. Now, the importance of that, why it's so important, and just to go back to it, is 75-80% of my day and sort of some of our high level team members day today has been spent dealing with stupid mistakes, people going off of process, people rushing things, people not using their brain, people asking stupid silly little questions they should be answering themselves. So because of that, this is directly correlated not just with the mistakes now, but the mental capacity is taken up, because we could have been further ahead on our goal. I could have signed 2 clients today, added on an extra $3,000 to $6,000 revenue per month from those 2 clients. But instead, because of these little silly mistakes, we've not only lost the staff time, we've lost the potential earnings for 3 to 6K for 12 months, for argument's sake. So when you look at it like that, so it's like $36,000 to $72,000 revenue because of some little sort of mistakes, it really paints a picture. So if anyone else is having trouble with that, like I said, we're going to report back. We're going to slowly roll this out. And then the last portion, sorry, I've completely forgot to mention, the last portion on this is a mistake board, right, across the company. So not just the channel, but also mistake board. So at our end of month reviews, we can go back and we can pull up the mistake board and we can say, look, you made this many mistakes. This is where you are. And everybody can go at any time and see those mistakes. And as a team, we can start to notice what comes up repeatedly. If we notice loads of people having the same mistake appear again and again and again, then the chances are there's probably something that needs to tweak in the system itself as well. But that's our game plan. Like I said, I'll report back. I'm not expecting an easy task to get this done. I'm expecting it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the arse to sort it out. But it's sort of, we're steering a cruise ship at the moment. Before we were a speedboat, just fucking flying along. Now we're a cruise ship. We want to sort of figure that out and sort that out. And that's really the slow change that we're going to make. Like I said, we might lose a few team members, we'll bring some new team members on, we'll just get them first and center on the 131 and the method itself and push forward on that side as it goes in to give people their self-sufficiency. Because as you hire managers, as you hire middle management, Yes, they need to manage the team members, but they shouldn't be doing things that are super simple and are processed or processified, who knows, are processed and have a set standard that they're causing mistakes. So your manager should be guiding and telling people, or guiding people on what to do, not telling them what to do. But like I said, a bit of a shit one today. We didn't have any big takeaways, but like I said, this in itself is a really, really big win to be able to look at what we're going to do and what the game plan is. So I'll catch you tomorrow. We'll be rolling this out. We'll be starting on there. Hopefully tomorrow's a bit of a better day. We've got some bookings in the place, which are good. We hit target today, but hopefully we get closer to our goal on this side of new signups.